What's up, guys? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm back with Painkiller already, episode 13. Who do we have with us this week?
Hey guys, I'm Courtney.
Oh, man. Stand on down, Kyle. All right, I got an opening question for Courtney. We want to know about your video game background. I know everybody out there in the podcast land wants to hear about that straight up.
No, they
and straight
don't.
out. Yeah, they do. Be quiet.
This is Painkiller already. We have to cover video game background. What do you got?
Fuck.
I'm a pretty fierce zombie killer. Played some Left 4 Dead 2. Probably.
What is it with Left 4 Dead 2 and girls? Almost every girl player I've ever met is a Left 4 Dead 2 player.
I don't know. I like it. It's pretty badass. But I usually stick to the more childish games. Zelda. God, just awful video games. Banjo-Kazooie, Mario Party. You know, really awful stuff.
All right, let's test that Zelda knowledge. Which Zelda game did you play?
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Did you beat any of them?
Yes, I've beat the first two, and I got a late start on Twilight Princess, so I'm in the middle of that right now.
So what do you think about that water temple in Ocarina of Time?
To be honest with you, I always kind of had a childhood fear of water, so that was a little bit of a difficult moment for me.
Damn.
That's one of the most elongated, drawn-out temples in Zelda history.
Absolutely. It was a little time-consuming, but when you have a walkthrough, it helps.
Oh, you use a walkthrough? Come on now.
Oh. Hey, did you guys use the walkthrough on Portal?
I never played Portal.
I've never played Portal.
What is wrong with you people? All right, well, Portal is badass. You need to know, and it's probably $20 now or something low like that. It was $20 when I got it a while ago. So, but
Is Portal like Myst?
No, so it's kind of a puzzle game. Here's the deal: you have a gun, but the gun doesn't shoot bullets. Instead, it shoots the wall and creates I'll call it a doorway that you can walk through.
Or
So
a
you shoot
portal.
the wall on your left, you shoot the wall on the right, and then as you walk through the left, you come out the right. That basic mechanic is used in the most interesting ways. And, you know, for example, you might shoot one on the ground, climb up to a tall area, jump through that one on the ground, then your momentum carries you and can put you on a ledge you couldn't have otherwise reached. And there's a character called GLaDOS. GLaDOS is this computer that kind of guides you through the tour. And the voice acting for it is amazingly good, and it keeps everything interesting. And
Is this 360 or PC?
both. So, Portal. Check out Portal. It is it's amazingly good. Even, you know, Yahtzee, the game reviewer? Zero punctuation?
No.
Wow. You guys living a sheltered life. Man. Well, anyway, this guy hates on every game he can find. He sits there and he busts on Gears of War for having too much chest-high cover. And he finds oddball things to complain about every game. And in Portal, he just calls it, you know, the Jesus game, that there's nothing to complain about. It was amazingly good. And Portal, check it out.
You know what that reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
Old PC game called I Have No Mouth, But I Want to Scream. You ever played that, Woody?
It reminds me of Centipede, the movie. Didn't they sew mouth shut?
Oh, God. What? This podcast is not going the direction I was hoping. You guys are talking about obscure video games that like 8 people have ever played.
Portal?
Look, you gotta keep in mind. I'm 24. I'm single, and I actually do stuff. So like I don't know what some of these things are.
Our subscribers are going to hate you for this because Portal is like a 2-year-old.
All right, no. All right, let me say this. I know what Portal is, and I was aware of the game mechanic because I saw a speed run on Portal one time that was absolutely. It looked like the guy probably has like devoted his life to playing the thing because he beat Portal in like under a minute. And it was
Under a minute.
It was like I guess it was one level of Portal or something like that because he was just like, it was incredible the way he did it. But anyway, I'm just saying, like I know what Portal is, but like I don't watch all these game review stuff and.
All right, you know
I watched somebody beat Ninja Gaiden in like 9 minutes, the whole game.
Wow, I don't think we properly explained how Courtney got on the show.
Exactly. I want to focus this on Courtney. That's where I want to like focus the beam of light of truth.
Help me, Courtney. What makes you so interesting?
Everything.
Everything. Courtney, what do you do for a living? Do you still do it?
I am an adult phone entertainer,
Nice.
commonly known as a phone sex actress.
So, how did you get in it?
I was looking for a job to help pay some bills, and I looked in the newspaper, and it said, "Do you like to flirt? No sales required." And I walked in, and they didn't care what I looked like, which was awesome. And it all just kind of worked from there. They had me do a couple of interviews, which tested my ability to do accents and voices. And I guess I passed, and I got the job, and I've been doing it for about the last 5 years.
Okay, so you could do accents and voices?
As part of what was required for my first job, you had to be able to play different ages. You had to be able to be different nationalities. Because you had some regulars, one particular regular wanted you to be Middle Eastern or Hindu. Lots of Asian. Every once in a while, you'd get a German or British. So you had to be able to do lots of accents. And as a requirement, you had 3 profiles, 2 regular profiles, and 1 had to have an accent and had to specialize in a fetish. So I was a Hispanic dominatrix.
Oh my God, you're perfect.
I think Kyle fell in love.
All right.
Can we hear the Dalai Lama accent?
No, we cannot. No, I want to hear the Latino dominatrix.
It's been a couple of years since I've done the accent.
Oh.
I've gotten into a line of work that allows me to advertise using my own pictures, so I don't have to pretend to be what I'm not. Like when guys call, they know I have pink hair and piercings and tattoos, and that I'm very, very white. So I don't have to pretend anymore.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any like side job or anything you're doing right now that you'd like to plug?
All I have is my phone sex line. I work a personal line, and then I work for a company. So the only thing I could really plug is my personal line.
Okay.
So you have your own business in this now. Is that what the personal line means?
Yeah, basically, my company hosts out of the same website that my personal line runs from. The only difference is basically how predominantly your advertisement gets shown is based on how much money you've already made. So when you're new to the site, no one will see you. So you kind of have to get your friends to call you or call yourself from your cell phone to get your ratings up. So when I bought a number from them, it already had advertising, and so I'm basically on the front page, and they just take an extra cut out of my earnings. So, yeah.
Yeah, kids, you understand the story. This is like YouTube. Remember, you can pay Wings of Redemption. He'll put you on the front page.
Oh my God. This is awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Can you do a Russian accent?
I don't think I've ever actually done Russian before. Although I had to say,
Can you make an attempt?
Can I make an attempt? God, what do Russians sound like? I don't think I have too many Russians down here in Florida.
Yeah.
I can give you a link of an Austrian trying to make a Russian accent.
I'm trying to channel like the movie Hostel right now. It's not coming to me. I'm too white for this.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. So you saw the job in the paper. What's the work environment like? I've wondered this. So are you at your own house? Are you in a cube environment with lots of other women?
I work from home now, which is probably the best thing I've ever done. I get to sit on the internet and smoke and drink all night while I work, which is kind of ideal. I get paid to sit around and do nothing. But my first job, I worked at a call center, and it was me and maybe about 30 other girls sitting in cubicles next to each other in these leather chairs. And I don't know, it's pretty much everything guys would expect it to be. A bunch of girls sitting around in their pajamas.
Did you literally
wear
your pajamas at work?
Yeah, that's why I took the job. I had pink hair, piercings, tattoos. They didn't care what I looked like because no one could see me. And we would all just sort of come in our pajamas and sit around and
Was there any like sound buffering?
I'm not getting the pajama thing. I'm focused on this here. So
wouldn't you work in your pajamas if you could?
Well, I mean, I don't do other things in my pajamas.
I do.
Like when I work on my car or mow my yard, I tend to put on normal clothes.
Well, when I pull myself out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd like to go to a job where I don't have to care about putting on my makeup and doing my hair and getting dressed. I can get up, get in my car, and go to work. But what's better about this is I work nights, so now I just kind of hang out, sit in whatever I'm wearing, which usually isn't very much, and just do my thing.
Okay, so you're 23, and like the way you describe yourself, you sound like you're pretty cute. Are there some like really unattractive women that do this?
Oh, you guys can't see her picture, can you?
No.
She's cute. Yeah, she has her picture on Skype, and she has a website. I saw half a dozen pictures. She's cute.
Oh, you saw my Suicide Girl site?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I don't know
You could post a link right down here, Woody.
I'll post it. Here. Wait. If I could learn how to spell. Suicide.
Well, I want to ask the question. I know y'all are dodging. You get any creepers?
You have no idea.
Yes, we do.
I've talked to a phone sex operator before. She said she had a guy who always wanted to fantasize with threesome with a goat.
I definitely get my fair share of bestiality calls. I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome.
Right, so is one of your accents a goat?
Guys have the option to tip us after phone calls. I would expect a nice tip after that. I'd like to say that we're surprisingly affordable. Most guys think that when girls work phone sex, we're charging like $9-10 an hour, and that we make all that money. I charge $1 a minute. On my personal line, I only see 60 cents of that, and on my work line, I only make 36 cents of that. So, yeah, it's nice to receive tips for all the effort we put in.
Yeah, all right, you said when you worked at the call centers, there's a bunch of girls lined up in leather chairs and like in their pajamas a mess. Was there any kind of like sound buffering or sound duration, or you just could hear people like moaning to themselves like
Did she say leather chairs?
No, you could absolutely hear the other girls working. What they gave us was we had outside noise canceling headsets. So guys usually couldn't hear it, but there was always that one girl who was just too into it, and she'd be all the way down at the end of the aisle, like on the other side of the room, and everyone would be having to stand up and flag the people running the center and let them know that you need to tell that girl to shut the fuck up because she is just being way too loud.
Just imagine that.
Like, what am I hearing in the background? You have to play it off like, oh, I'm just watching porn, whatever. You have to run with it.
Just imagine the guy who's on the call with that girl, and she gets like her superiors come and start scolding her in the middle of it.
I'm sure they do it quietly.
Yeah.
No, but if I'm talking to one girl in the background, I can hear another one that's like going crazy. I'd be like, "Hey, what's that girl's number?
Yeah.
She's the one I want." Yeah. Transfer me to the screamer. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's an interesting job, that's for sure.
So what is a suicide girl? Yeah, I've heard this term before, and I don't really know what it means.
It's a website for girls who do alternative nude modeling. Basically, it started out back in like 2002. It's girls who have colored hair, tattoos, piercings, or just not what you would normally see in print catalogs. And it's geared around basically girls who don't look normal are still hot too. And trust me, they definitely are.
I got a question here. I'm looking at these pictures, and your hair is like a collaboration of like different colors, like purple, violet, red, white, and orange.
Yeah.
How long does that take?
I've been doing it for about as long as I've been doing phone sex. My hair is pretty much a part of me. The pink is pretty permanent. You don't really have to redo it. I just touch up my roots maybe twice a month, so I'll take 3 hours out of my day, and I'll be back to looking fresh.
All right.
What you ever thought about the pink hairdo?
That implies my hair is not pink now.
Right, I have a question. Does you dye your head pink? Do you dye anything else pink?
There's nothing else to dye.
Gotcha. That's the answer I was hoping for. Thank you.
This makes me think back to the time I put a mohawk on for work.
That is not what I want to be thinking about right now, Wings.
Well, you don't want to think about my mohawk? You trying to say I'm not
no,
sexy?
you motherfucker, no. Don't put a picture of you with a mohawk in my brain right now.
So,
all right, you may have to send me that number now.
Nice. Hey, one of my subs asked me about high school popularity. So let's talk about that. Kyle, were you popular in high school?
I was.
You were. All the way through? Always popular in high school?
Yeah, I would say so.
Good deal.
Everybody kind of knew who I was and what I did.
How many people were in your high school?
1,000.
Is that your class or all four?
That's my class.
Really? So
Yeah.
there were like 4,000 people in your high school?
Yeah.
You had 4,000 people in the senior party. Let's imagine graduation there.
No. Yes.
No, 1,000 grad. Well, I mean, there were 1,000 in my senior class. Not that many graduated.
Nice.
But I mean, we started with 1,000. I remember that clearly. That somebody was like, there's like nine. It was really close to exactly 1,000. It was like 987. So I remember that number pretty clearly.
Wings, were you popular in high school?
Nope.
So how was that?
I stuck out with the Battlestar Galactica D&D kids.
Nice.
I played Dungeons and Dragons all the way through high school.
I played Dungeons and Dragons before high school.
Don't judge me.
I did
All right, hold up. You played Dungeons and Dragons which part? You probably played 2.0 or 1.5, didn't you?
Shit, I don't know. I was young. I played it with there were parts. I don't know if there were parts back when I played Dungeons and Dragons.
When I started Dungeons and Dragons, we didn't have like figurines or maps or anything like that. We updated from 3.0 to 3.5. I came with a map, and then we bought figurines at the local Dungeons and Dragons store.
I think
So,
I played 1.0. This was like 1978 that I played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, this was like late 90s.
No, this was
late
like
2000s.
The 80s. Yeah.
But, all right, Woody. Memorable story.
No. We haven't gone. There's two more.
Oh.
So in high school, I started off not very popular. I was kind of young, and I was one of those unfortunate guys that hit puberty late. But somewhere around my junior, senior year, I sprouted up and got popular, really. I joined the swim team, which isn't really the key to popularity, but it got me in shape, and I had probably one of the better-looking girls in my high school as my girlfriend. And so it ended well. It started really slow. Courtney, were you popular in high school?
Oh, God, no.
No?
I went to a private school, a really small private school. There was maybe 50 people in my entire grade. And you pretty much went to the same kids all the way through kindergarten through the year you graduated. And if you didn't get along when you were young, you definitely didn't get along in high school. So everyone hated me. I finally managed to switch schools my senior year and went to public school for the first time. And everyone loved me there. So I kind of wish I had been able to do that sooner.
In retrospect, do you think there was anything you could have done? Like, handled something different or better?
Being a stuck-up bitch like the rest of girls at my school.
Huh.
Everyone at my school had a BMW or an Audi or a Mercedes on their 16th birthday. One of the girls...
Un-American fucks.
Yeah. Just big, giant 3-story houses, shopping every weekend. I didn't have the money they did, therefore I didn't fit in. So, yeah, if I had been a little bit more pretentious, maybe, but I'm not.
Choked, choked their ass and Hitler.
Wish I'd went to that high school.
What, you want you a Bavarian Motor Works special, Kyle?
Oh my god, dude! I like Beamers. I had an M3 when I was 18. I loved that thing. I mean, I like American cars. I love American cars, but I like Beamers and Audis and
What year
Mercedes.
was the Beamer?
God, 6 years ago. So it was new.
Hey,
It was new 6 years ago when you got it.
If you tie that thing to a tree and you put my American truck on the other end of it, I bet you I can rip it in half.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice.
Yeah, this Beamer wouldn't like it.
God, I hate foreign cars. So what do you think about foreign cars there, Courtney?
Me? Oh.
I drive a Hyundai Tucson.
Oh man,
It's
you drive a Korean car. The people that want to burn us and nuke us, you drive their car.
It gets gas miles.
Wait, it's not North Korean.
Yeah, it's the good Koreans, all right?
Yeah, it's South Korea, but South Korea's gonna get took over by North Korea in the next 10 years, probably.
I love that whenever somebody says they're Korean, I automatically pretty much know, but I always want to look at them really suspiciously and be like, the good Korea or the bad Korea? Yeah.
The one we died for, or the one that killed us?
Oh my god! I always want to ask.
That's one way to put it. Hey, so I had there's a lot of people that like to watch my YouTube channel, and I've been getting overwhelmed with this dating advice. I don't know how I got to be like the dating advice guy. Right? The last time I had to pick up a girl, I was 19 years old. That's a while ago. But someone asked me for things to talk about on the first date. The topics they could bring up, things that would make it smoother. So, Courtney, go.
I am the absolute worst person to ask for dating advice. I'm incredibly socially awkward and just very off-putting in person because I'm just too straightforward. Like people when you meet them, they're reserved and they like to, keep their issues and weirdness until after the person already likes them. But I like to throw it all out there up front because if you can't handle it on the first date, then you can't handle me as a person. So I kind of throw it all out there and see what sticks.
Nice. So you're not easing into the whole I'm crazy thing.
Because say they like me on the first date and then they realize just how crazy I am, they're not going to stick around, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Well, what if you're an acquired taste, right? What if you get to love
I'm not really an acquired taste. It's either you love me or you hate me. Like, it's kind of from the first moment you meet me. Either you're gung-ho about me and you think I'm a cool person, or I don't really do it for you, and if that's the case, things probably won't change. Right. I only get more awkward and off-putting the more you get to know me, which is probably why I don't know many people.
Do you have a boyfriend now?
Yes.
You do. So, Kyle, things to talk about on a first date. Kyle?
All right, Kyle's busy talking on a number. Okay, I'll do it.
No, I'm not. You talk about the other person. I'm sorry. I clicked mute as I was leaning over to grab a drink. You talk about the other person. Try to talk as little about yourself as possible.
That was my deal, too. I have not yet met a woman who doesn't like talking about herself.
It's everybody's favorite topic.
So, let her go. Tell her stories. Pay attention. Active listen. Give her a hunt every now and then. And let her roll.
I take the old Gregory Peck situation here. You sit in the driver's seat, you drive them around, you let them talk. If they ask about you, you be upfront about it. Like my dating life basically evolves around how I'm doing in life at the time. Like right now, where I work at home, I do everything from home, like sell chickens and things like that. I wouldn't want to tell them about that because I'm actually embarrassed that I work at home and I work with editing software and things like that. But when I was working at apprentice engineer at a metal company, I was all about telling them about that. I mean, I guess I'm the creep. I'm the guy that you get that has all the problems after you meet him.
Well, see, that's your problem. You're not spelling it out up front. I give everyone full awareness. When I first met my fiance now, I told him, look, you're going to fall in love with me. You're not going to be able to help it. And you're going to be confused about why you're so in love, but just accept it. And he did. And it's all falling into place. Guys don't take me seriously when I first told them that. I'm like, look, you're going to fall in love with me and you're not going to be able to help it. And they're like, okay, sure. And then 2 months later, they're like, I didn't think you were serious. I'm like, I know. No one does. But it's okay. I warned you. Just understand that I'm always right, and it'll work from there.
Well, always right, huh?
In all fairness, I've never been single since I turned 15, so I have to be doing something right.
I don't necessarily think that's true.
I think we might be. Were we separated at birth? I think maybe we're.
I'm adopted. Very possible.
Oh my god!
How's that? I have a friend who was adopted. I know a couple different adopted people, and some of them have just been totally, well-adjusted. I'm adopted. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, I got a question.
My new parents are my parents. I kind of just wish I knew my medical history. And then other people
I'd like to know.
Are really genuinely curious and driven and want to know all about their biological parents. So where do you fall?
I would like to know my parents. Like, I've put myself on the registry. You know, if their name's on there, they're supposed to connect the two of us. Obviously, nothing's come of that. But I'd like to know who they are. Because of the way I am, my medical history would be of great help to me. But I'd like to know them, but if I don't, it's not like it's really going to hurt my life in any way. You know, everything seems to be fine as it is. I've been with my family for longer than I can remember, so obviously things are going okay.
So were you super young when you were adopted? I mean,
I was 2 days old. Like, I was given up, like, at birth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got adopted by a super rich elderly family, so that always worked out in my favor.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Like, how old were your parents when they got you?
In their mid-40s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Woody's like, yeah, elderly.
Yeah, they'll be dead soon. That's
But you've only got about 7 or 8 years left. Elderly.
Oh,
You better control that engagement a little better, Woody.
Yeah, it's like I tell myself, man, you can't stay young forever, but you can always be immature.
But you can be elderly at age 40.
Well, the way I look at it is I have a brother who's their biological son, and he's 40 now. So he's at the age that they were when they were adopting me, and he's my brother. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but it's always seemed kind of weird to me. Like, people meet me and they're like, how are you so much younger than your parents?
I see. So they did almost the whole parenting thing and decided they want another go-round.
Yeah. I won't go into details, but they had an unfortunate accident with one of their children and decided that they wanted another chance, and that's where I came in.
Oh.
Okay.
So they lost a kid.
Yeah.
All right. That is amazingly. That's sad. That is.
Yeah, it is. Well,
I got a
now
question.
that I brought the whole topic down.
It's all right.
I got another question.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna word this a little strenuous, okay?
Mm-hmm.
With your personality, you seem like a very brash person that will lash out and, physically harm a guy if he puts himself in that position, just based off your personality. I've recently I've been sent to videos on.
Yes.
I've been sent to videos on YouTube where like people play WoW. You know what WoW is?
World of Warcraft?
Yes, and their girlfriends delete their account and they videotape their reactions. What do you think about what do you think about females that destroy your personal property? Do you consider that abuse? And would you do it yourself?
Destroy someone's personal property. I think that's if someone just just to bring this whole thing down again. I've been in an abusive relationship before. I don't see any need to ever destroy anyone else's property. If I had a boyfriend and he wanted to play World of Warcraft, for example, my boyfriend now likes to play games. If he wants to play his games, that's fine. I'll go in my room and do my own thing. There's no reason to lash out over something like that. That's stupid.
How serious is this? How serious is this relationship that you're in right now?
She's engaged.
Kyle's borderline millionaire.
I'm talking to her right now, Woody.
I have a rather expensive ring on my finger, so it's okay.
Good deal.
Hey, engaged means you haven't signed the papers yet.
Yeah, except we already have the wedding paid for, and I bought my dress and plane tickets.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Kyle, you got an uphill road here.
So
look at those rims.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Obviously, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Is there anyone just like you at work? Maybe.
I don't work with anyone. Oh.
Oh, she's like, oh. No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really.
$40,000 is a lot, but look at those rims, Kyle. Look at the rims.
Oh, I love that. I'll tell that story all the time. This black lady came in to buy an Expedition, and she didn't realize that they're $50,000, and she's like, $50,000. I'm like, yes, ma'am. But look at the grill, and I'm like down, like peeling down, like framing the grill with my arms. Look at the grill, because like the limited edition has this really nice grill on it, and she's like, yeah, that is nice. Let's go for a ride, man. Let's go for a ride. Like half an hour later, she's signing up. Oh man, she probably went bankrupt over that. She couldn't pay for that.
Yeah.
Hey, so I've...
But the bank could.
I have a new topic, and all four of us on the phone are... My wife refers to me as a minor league celebrity because, not a real celebrity like, Keanu Reeves or something where he
You're Bill Gates, huh?
But the minor league celebrity, where every now and then some random, recognizes you. Do you guys have any stories of getting recognized outside and off of YouTube?
I do.
What do you got?
Yeah, me too.
I was at the grocery store, and the grocery store attendant, well, I guess that's what they're called. The guy who rings you out. He recognized me by my voice, and I hadn't had posted a picture yet where I videotaped myself. He's like, "You sound like Wings of Redemption." I'm like, "Who? Wings of Redemption?" I'm like, "Who's that?" It's like, "He plays video games." I don't play video games.
Really? I have almost the same story. I was at work, and where I work, there's 4 stories on the building I work. Just imagine like 4 layers of cube farms. And if you go up a story, all of a sudden you have like total privacy. So a friend of mine, we used to go to some other story and walk and talk for like 15 minutes or so and just take a break from whatever we were doing. And we're doing laps, and some guy stops us, and he's like, "This is going to sound crazy, but are you Woody's gamer tag?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that is me. How did you know?" And he's like, "I recognized your voice, and I heard you say something about you working with computers and thought maybe." And yeah, so I got recognized then, just doing laps around the office talking with a friend. And then this week, actually. So we launched TuppetGaming.com. And the site had so many people come visit that the first host, the hosting plan that we bought, wasn't scalable enough to handle all the people that came to the site. So they were getting this website not found or 4.4s or something like that. And so we worked with GoDaddy to upgrade the host and to get one that was capable of handling more users. And the guy knew. It was actually my partner talking to him, but he mentioned Woody's gamertag. And the guy knew Woody's gamertag and gave us a 15% discount on the hosting plan because he was a fan at GoDaddy.
Nice. Yeah, the people at my local GameStop, I'm like a hero there. I go in and everybody's like, "There he is, ladies and gentlemen!"
I'm the same way at my GameStop.
That's just because you go there every day.
I can't even get him to skip the questions about, do I want to buy this or that? And I'm like,
I stopped. I shut that shit down immediately. I'm like, dude, I've been selling since I was 15. Don't try to sell me all this extra shit. I'm not pre-ordering anything.
Oh yeah, they do you want to pre-order this? No. Do you want this? No. Do you want a protection plan on that? I'm like, what I don't say is no. I say no upsells, and then they ask some other upsell question, and I'm like, what don't you get about no upsells? So then they'll ask me some other upsell question, and I'm like, here?
Everybody's like that.
Mine's more like this. Like, you just asked me for a number, correct? He goes, yes. Do you not? So you're seeing my account on GameStop right there, correct? He goes, yes. Does it not say I've already pre-ordered Black Ops? He goes, yes. Why the fuck are you asking me the question?
Nice.
When I went to buy this computer last week, and I knew that I was gonna, those guys are salesmen. The guys there are, and I guess they get a commission on extras they sell you and stuff. And I knew there was gonna be like warranties and protection plans and antiviral and all this bullshit. And here he comes at me. He's like, "Oh, we do this, and that." I'm like, "Nope." And he gets to one of them, and it's like, and what we can do, we can remove all the unnecessary stuff off your computer before you get it home. And I'm like, "Well, I don't want that." And he's like, "Well, it's already on it." I'm like, "No, it's not." He's like, "Yeah, we've already done it." I'm like, "Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to buy a computer that's already got it on it. But I bet if you go in the back, you'll find me one that doesn't have it on it real fast." He comes back 3 minutes later. "Yep, I found it." I invented it's already on there. Don't try to sell me for that.
You talking about that weather lining, huh, Kyle?
Yeah. I used to sell weather lining for $800 a pop, and sir, it's already on the car. As a matter of fact, you're the first person I've ever met who didn't want it.
So, Courtney, you're a minor league celebrity. Have you been recognized?
I don't think anyone cares who I am because I have never been recognized.
Really? So
Really?
you're on a site that uses your picture to sell your phone number, your phone line, and you're distinctive looking, right? You've got, like, rainbow pink hair. No one's ever recognized you?
No one recognized. I think it's, I don't know. I guess I just don't go out enough for people to recognize me, I guess, but I've never gotten that, not even once.
I wonder if they recognize you and then, like, don't want to announce it. Like, hey, I was on a porn site.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you.
Exactly.
Dude.
Yeah, that's not the kind of person you would be like, hey, I remember you. I was trolling last night for somebody to talk dirty for me, and yeah, that was you. Like, no, they don't want to say that. They're like, oh, that's her. Look away. Maybe she won't recognize my voice. God, I gotta be quiet. Don't say anything. Don't say it out loud.
Could be.
Hey, Bob, you wanted to mess with the goat last night.
Exactly.
Oh, nice. I can't believe you didn't tip me after I did a goat impression for 20 minutes. How long is a normal phone call?
That's really hard to say. I'll get guys who will call me, and they'll be like, hey, and I'll be like, hey, and they'll hang up. I've had another guy who's called me and stayed on the phone for 2.5 hours, and the only thing we talked about was drugs, video games, and nude modeling. Like, that's all we talked about. We never got to phone sex, because his fantasy was spending lots of money on me and taking me shopping, so he bought me some clothes. Yeah.
I wonder if he paid for that phone bill. Maybe he got his line cut out. Talking about drugs and video games, he ain't exactly got $200 to drop on the 2-hour phone call.
Yeah, I hadn't really done the profiling there, but if he's into drugs and video games, he might not be making too much.
I get lots of guys who swear on their life that they have all this money and that I'm so cute and they want to fly me out to their place and they want to treat me like a queen, and I'm just like, that's why you're paying for phone sex, right?
That's right, the plane ticket.
Because you have all this money and excellent lady skills.
The girls in your line of work, are they ever enjoying these calls too, or is it an act 100% of the time?
I can't speak for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I know some girls who absolutely got off on it and loved every minute of it. I have a friend of mine who she had done the work amateurly, kind of when she wasn't supposed to be doing it. Let's leave it at that. And when she was able to actually do this, I hooked her up with a job, and she loves it. She thinks it's great. There's other girls I know who just, at the end of the day, cannot wait to get off the phone and go do something else. So it really kind of varies.
How long is the shifts there?
I mean, I make my own hours. If I want to log on and work for half an hour because I'm expecting someone, I can do that, and then I can log off and go back to whatever I'm doing that day. Or usually I try and keep it regular. I have to keep around 40 hours a week, so I'll try and get on around like 10 o'clock at night and get off around like 6 o'clock in the morning, so about 8 hours a night.
You ever get somebody call right at the last minute and want to do a 2-hour session, and you're just upset with him?
It used to happen all the time when I worked at a call center, and I was just so, like, you couldn't use the internet, you couldn't keep anything at your desk, like, you couldn't do anything for 8 hours, and it would always be right as I'm getting ready to log out, like, I have 10 seconds, and then that call would come through, and I'd just be like, son of a bitch. You want to go home badly enough that you kind of end up being a bitch to the caller, trying to get them to hang up, and I'll get the guy who'll be like, oh, you're not getting me to hang up that easy.
Oh, nice.
I'm going nowhere.
So now, to me, the whole business model of just calling a phone sex line is kind of fading away. I mean, there's webcam girls out there now.
I honestly, me and my friends have this conversation all the time. I still don't know why men paid for phone sex. I mean, maybe it's because they like the whole anonymity of it, or maybe they haven't discovered the internet yet. But if I had a dick, if I had to choose, it would definitely be cam girls 100% of the time. Like, I sell my nude pictures and stuff like that. Like, they have the whole visual aspect, but it's just, like, if you could look at still pictures or if you could look at live streaming porn, what would you rather watch? Because for me, it would definitely be the porn. Like, it's
let me throw a rock in this game. The whole idea of the phone sex isn't a pleasure of the flesh. Like, for example, what was that guy on Fox News? Was
Hannity?
No, the
dirty
Bill O'Reilly. He had a big phone sex scandal. He's a pretty rich man. But the whole idea of the phone sex is it creates atmosphere other than like cam girls. Like you watch a girl on camera, you know what you're looking at. You have got no imagination. You know what she's wearing. You can't pretend what she's wearing. When you have a phone sex, you can pretend what the person. You try to make a person that looks up with a voice. I know all the people out there. I've never had phone sex. I mean, you hear my voice. I've got a deep southern accent, but I understand the whole process behind it. And some people enjoy the atmosphere more than like the flesh. It's like a bathing suit.
I would say that the phone sex would probably be for a more intelligent kind of pervert, because he knows that, you know, his mind can create a more powerful sexual image than anything in real life or on camera. Like, he can make it look like, you know, Jasmine from Aladdin if he's really fucked up in the head or something, you know.
Hey,
that's why he wants.
What's so messed up about that?
Well,
You hating on the Indian women, Kyle?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that's why they want her to do that Middle Eastern accent. They're picturing Jasmine from Aladdin in their head. You know, they're just going for it.
It's a whole new world.
I was going to say was I've noticed that a lot of guys, when they do call, they have something very specific in mind that they want. Like, I have a particular regular who has this fantasy that he wants to live out, and his fetish is latex bodysuits and Halloween masks. And he wants to pretend that I'm his wife, and he comes home from work, and he finds me getting ready for a Halloween party wearing this Halloween mask and wants me to describe it in vivid detail. And, you know, they have these elaborate role plays that they want to create that if you're doing this on a webcam, it's not really... You're not really capable. Yeah, you're not able to do that. You can create this whole fantasy when you're over the phone because there's really no limitations on what you can describe and what you can come up with.
So at what level would your fiancé become jealous? You know, like phone sex. All right. I can kind of see, like, being okay with that. Webcam girl getting tougher. You know, like, at what level does selling nude pics?
About me doing webcamming, and he's definitely not comfortable with it, and I respect that. You know, I wanted to do it for the money, but obviously, you know, if he's not comfortable with it, I'm not going to do it. I guess he was uncomfortable with it when we first got together, but didn't want to tell me that because I had the job before we met. But when I started working from home, he became very much more comfortable with it, and he sat out here several times with me while I was on calls just because he, you know, was doing something that brought him in the vicinity of where I'm working, and he's seen me work, he's heard me work, and he's become considerably less uncomfortable with it while we've been together.
So when you're working, your side of it, it's all just a show?
Would he hit a nerve?
You guys are going
just a show.
Some customers here. I have to be honest, though, lots of guys really actually don't care if you're into it or not. They come with a fantasy. They want you to fulfill the fantasy. Like, lots of guys think that when a guy calls phone sex, they're like, okay, where's your dildo? Stick it in your pussy right now and let's get going. Like, I don't got time for this shit. Like, I'd say that means
$1 a minute.
We just earned our explicit rating. Nice.
That maybe only accounts for about 10% of my calls. I'd say 90% is guys who want me to talk out a fantasy for them. Like, it's not about me, it's about them. And as long as I do what they want, they don't really care about what I'm doing over here. I could be reading a dictionary for all they care, as long as they're getting what they paid for.
Yeah, the reason I asked if your side is just a show, because it would, for me, impact my jealousy rating, you know, if my wife was a phone sex operator.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I've been doing it for 5 years. It's a job. It's what I do for a living. It's work.
Gotcha.
Have you ever gotten off doing your job?
No.
In 5 years, you've never got one person that actually did something for you?
Not once.
So
I got talk, maybe, like, if I met them in person, they sound like me and them could have, you know, we could have been...
Courtney, you're really quiet right now.
Yeah, your mic's dying off.
My mic is dying off?
Can you get closer to it or get louder?
My mic is.
That's better.
Okay, I have a touchscreen computer. I don't have, like, a tower or an attached mic. It's, like, all built into one thing, so...
Okay.
Yeah. I forget what the question was. You guys.
We're asking if you've ever actually, you know, been compromised during your work ethic.
I think she covered that, but I have what was I going to ask? Oh, did it take long to get good at this job? So, like, if you asked me to talk dirty, I don't know, I've got maybe one or two storylines I could whip out, and that would be it.
Let's hear them.
Whereas you're doing it as all day, 8 hours a day, and that's a lot. How long did it take you to sort of fluently whip out any fantasy that people come up with?
I'd say it maybe took me about 6 months to a year, because the thing is lots of girls have the ability to pigeonhole themselves. Like, they're good at being a submissive. They understand what it takes to be a submissive, and that's all they do. Well, my line of work, I've always had to be able to do everything. I have to be a fierce dominant. I have to be a wimpy submissive. I have to be able to cover all the ground. And a lot of that stuff doesn't come naturally to people. Like, you don't know how to make someone your bitch all the time. And I think the more experience I got, the easier it's sort of come to me. And I've learned how to read customers when they get on the phone. Like, judging by their voice and the questions they ask, it's very easy for me to figure out what they want and very quickly fall into that character to make it more real.
All right.
All right.
There you go. For some reason, I can't keep my train of thought when you talk. I'm drawing a blank.
Kyle, you got any questions? You're about awful silent over there.
Kyle's in love.
You need to calm down, Mr. Gamertag.
I need to calm down. Go ahead.
I think we've covered most of it. I guess. What did you do before this? Like, did you ever have just like a regular, 9 to 5 kind of job?
I had always been kind of fortunate. Like I said, I had the ability to kind of get guys to do what I want in the past, and was able to usually set up pretty sweet gigs for myself where I never had to hold a job because I had a guy who was willing to pay my bills for me. I did waitressing for maybe 3 months, then I went a year doing nothing, then I did telemarketing for a couple of months, and that sucked, and I didn't do anything after that, and then I did phone sex, and that stuck, so I've had like 3 jobs my entire life.
So
nice.
Do you think you'll be at phone sex for a long time? It's been 5 years. Can you do it for 20 more?
I'm actually getting ready to go back to school. I finally settled on something I wanted to do, and so my degree for that shouldn't take me too long with all the classes I've already completed, and I should be able to start that within the next year and a half or so.
What will your major be?
Criminal science and crime scene photography.
Really? Wings would love that.
Yeah, I would.
Man.
Anything that involves dead bodies.
Oh, God. You just...
by serial killers and dead bodies. I don't know what it is, but if I could make a living doing that for the rest of my life, I think it would be awesome.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
Ooh. God, that's really difficult. I used to have a whole list of my favorite ones set up.
I got
God.
mine.
Why would you have that?
You guys have favorite serial killers?
Harry Holmes.
Harry Holmes?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He killed people at the World Fair.
That is awesome.
What he'd do is he ran a hotel, and he'd invite these rich ladies and men into his hotel because it was right there off the World Fair when he first started in Chicago. And he would suffocate them in the rooms. He'd lock the door had like an automated lock, and it would seep gas into the room. And then when they died, he'd drop them in a vat of acid in the basement and then sell their skeleton to the Science Museum. This was in 1890s, so there were no forensics back then. So they got a skeleton, they didn't ask questions. They just gave him $200, which was a lot of money back then. Wow. And he took the personal money they had off of them. He ended up killing, I think 30 people.
See, I like Isagawa. He's kind of like the godfather of all cannibal killers. Just this Japanese guy. He would just kill chicks, chop them up, shove them in a meat freezer, and when they finally caught him after all these years and hundreds of girls later, it was a complete train wreck, and I always just found him never-endingly amazing.
So what year did he do his killings? Like, what time period?
I want to say, God, it's been, it was in the, maybe, 1960s to the 1980s.
Okay.
So not too long ago, but most people don't seem to know about him, like he's no Ted Bundy or, Gacy or, Dahmer or anything like that.
Yeah, Kyle, do you have a favorite serial killer?
Who was that one guy who would kidnap the children and eat them?
That would be
older guy. He was like an
Wayne
older
Gacy.
Guy. No, this was an older guy, and I remember one
he
story.
was the clown.
This one guy.
Oh, you're talking about Albert Fisk.
Yeah, that guy.
Fish, Albert Fish.
Yeah.
Albert Fish.
You people
That guy
are
was messed
sick
up.
and wrong. Like, I'm like, who's my favorite serial killer? I don't know. Maybe Dexter?
Oh, we're naming Albert Fish, son. That's the Westchester werewolf.
Yeah,
Albert
that guy,
Fish was a pretty fucked up dude.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he had like 48 pins in his hips where he did insert his pins and needles into himself.
Yeah.
He would take alcohol-soaked cotton balls and put them in his ass and light them on fire. That dude was hardcore.
You ever meet that guy that you don't want to fuck with? That's me.
Exactly. Like, you wouldn't want to be, like, hanging out with that guy, like, you know, just watching TV with him or anything. He might just look over at you and be like, will you help me light this cotton ball? You're like, what the fuck?
I ain't down for that at all.
Like, no, man, no, I think I'm going to go ahead and head on out. Like, you sure? I've got a little girl's ass in the refrigerator I was about to fry out. Like, no.
In fairness, Albert Fish was around way before television was, so you wouldn't be watching TV with him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Back when it was still okay to be like, hey, why don't you go wander off with this nice strange man?
Exactly. We went to this house, like, and he was originally there for the son, but he noticed the little girl, and he told the mother, he's like, my granddaughter's having a birthday today. Why doesn't she come along with me and she can come to the party? And the mother's like, yeah, take my little girl. Like, to a complete stranger.
Yeah, best course of action there. You know what I've always bothered me about serial killers is the faggot ones. Like John Wayne Gacy. They would get the little boys to paint with him, and then he'd like...
Hold on. Your problem with serial killers is that they're attracted to other men?
Yes.
I have a problem with the faggots.
Courtney,
Yeah,
I don't.
I was
going to say, I would think that gay men are probably like a poison to your industry. You must...
Call me. Gay men love to be dressed up in women's lingerie, told what little faggot bitches they are, and be fucked in the ass with giant strap-ons. They actually probably make up 60% of my caller inventory.
No way.
I kid you not, and I can guarantee this, without a shadow of a doubt, at least 80% of them are married with children.
This is awesome.
In my years in this line of work, I have definitely noticed that 90% of like the gay guys that call me are all happily married with children, and they just can't tell their wife this, but they really secretly dream of me setting up a Craigslist gangbang and sitting there and laughing at them and telling them what little bitches they are while they just get railed by numerous men.
So, Woody.
Yeah. Courtney, you're blowing my cover here. Come on.
So, Woody, is there something you'd like to tell us?
No.
Oh, man.
No. So let's talk about your clientele. You know, you say about over half of them are actually gay men?
Yeah. Or not, maybe not gay, bi, or secretly gay, or they'll assure me, look, I'm not gay or anything. Before I tell you this, I need to tell you, I'm not gay, but I fantasize about getting railed in the ass by a big black guy. No, dude, you're definitely not gay. Obviously.
There's a term for that. It's called bisexual. We can use that term.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure what you call it, because they're not bisexual because they've never actually had sex with a man. It's something they fantasize about, but they're
bi-curious.
Yeah, they're bi-curious. There you go.
Kyle coming through big. So the people that...
You
now,
no
do you get
idea.
people who call you that are just vanilla? That call and say, you know, tell me you love me? Or...
One caller, my company set me up with 2 profiles of girls that are not me, and 1 profile that has my pictures. Now, my profile accounts for 90% of my calls. The other 2 girls are just normal-looking chicks. But I have this older guy who has absolutely fallen in love with this chick that he thinks I am, and will call me for 2 minutes and be like, okay, I love you. I have 3 kisses for you. Where do you want them? And I'll get all cute and be like, I want one on my forehead, and one on my nose, and I want one right on my lips. And he'll get so smitten, and he'll write me love letters and send me money, and whatever works for him. He'll call and we'll do the phone sex bit maybe once out of every 5 calls or so, but normally he just writes me love letters and tells me how happy he is to have me in his life. And
I may have missed out on some hidden potential here because I can do a pretty good girl voice.
Well, For what it's worth, there's a huge market for gay-for-pay men, guys who are straight who want to verbally be abused over the phone by larger gay men. So you could always explore that.
That's awesome. I mean, you get into that.
I'm surprised they're not looking at me. I think I was like 6'3" over here.
Oh my god. Well, I'll use your profile picture. I'm too pretty.
You ever shave your mustache off yet, Kyle?
No, man, I haven't shaved in about 2 weeks.
You got to keep that. The gay men like a man with a beard. Makes them. Make them territorial.
Yeah, they want you to rub it everywhere.
It tickles the penis when you give them fellatio.
All right.
No.
We've got explicit on lockdowns.
Yes, we do. All right, we might as well keep going. All right, you mentioned that you sell pictures of yourself online. How much are those?
I've actually managed to sell them for much more than they're probably worth. I'll sell I was supplied with nude pictures of these other girls.
No, we're talking about the ones of you.
Oh, the ones of me, I'll usually do I don't know what. On my personal line, it's 3 for $13 topless, 3 for $20 nude.
Wow.
Someone wants to buy a lot, like a whole set, like maybe 150 pictures. I'll cut the price down considerably.
Okay, so all you subscribers out there, to our 50,000 viewers, if any of you would like to see our lovely guest in the nude, where do they go?
God, they'd have to visit my Night Flirt page if they want to find me.
Yeah, we'll definitely link that. We'll make you some money.
We can give you a link on the Painkiller page.
Awesome.
I got a question here. That brings up this question. How do you, in the day's age where the internet is a glorified porno search engine, do you manage to sell 3 topless pictures for $10? I mean, what is the workup? What's the sale there?
Guys are kind of, the way I've noticed it is guys are drawn into the fact that it's, you can look at any porn star on the internet, but they get to have a personal interaction with me.
Exactly.
They get
I was going to say, I could have answered that one, right? They don't want a naked picture of a girl. They want a naked picture of Courtney.
Yeah, you can look at my picture on my profile, and I have my modeling shots, and then I have another picture of me in the exact same lingerie, taking a cell phone camera picture in front of my shower curtain. So you can definitely see that it's not false advertising. I am the person you're talking to. I have proof. And I've noticed that once I put up an actual picture of myself, guys are so much more responsive when it's just a regular amateur at-home shot.
Good deal.
Yeah, so that's what the draw is there. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not a guy.
Oh, that is pretty expensive, though. Do I get some kind of discount?
You guys can get discounts. We can work
something. Nice. Toxic, Ecstasy, and GoDaddy are hooking me up this week.
You compete with GoDaddy.com. You in the big leagues.
It almost seems out of place to do the cool story, bro, this week. This
yes,
week is
it
about
does.
Courtney, isn't it?
Aw, yay.
Oh, no, you probably could have told her the testicle story. That would have fit right in.
Oh, my God.
I now want to hear the story.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Hey,
what
is my parents' sex life. Do you want to cover that?
I would love to hear about your parents having sex.
All right. So it's been on the list for a while now. So my parents are freaking ballers. They have left some big shoes to fill, and I think it's put me in an unusual state of mind as a grown-up. So the house I was raised in, most people, when they think about their parents having sex, there is this notion that they never do it, or they don't want to know about it, or it grosses them out, or it's over. But in my house, it was kind of just an expression of love. And I knew my parents got it on all the time. And they were loud. And they were just freaking at it. And there were times, my father, he's an accountant. And so during tax season, he would work some big hours, right? I've seen him work 60 hours in 3 days. And even during times like that, he'd still consider it, his obligation to get down and get it on. And I can remember I'd be at the breakfast table in the morning before school, making fun of them for for their escapades from the previous night. And one time my mom was like, "You didn't hear us. There's no thing." And then I started repeating her and all the compliments she was giving.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was like, "Oh, Stan, you're so wonderful. You're the best. You're my stallion, this and that." And she's like, I guess you did hear me.
Oh, my God.
I'm surprised she's still giving compliments like that after marriage so long.
As a female, I can safely say that I could never picture myself in bed, on my back, legs in the air, in all my glory, saying, "You're so wonderful," while getting plowed.
Give me the kingly scepter.
You are my stallion.
My mother was very complimentary.
His mother is a cat.
Yeah. And the amount of sex, even now, they must be 60, and I couldn't keep up with them. Those guys are at it all the time, and I'm pretty satisfied myself. But
boy, I was on the Xbox Live the other night. Your mother's got other hobbies too.
Yeah, I often joke that I learned a lot about my mother from Xbox Live because people say, she's a slut, I did her, etc., etc. But no, she's a one-woman guy, but she's on her game. I wish I could explain it better than I am, but the fact that my parents' sexuality was always part of sort of the loving home, and it's different than you normally see, but they were at it all the time. You knew they were a couple, and it was just part of where I was raised. And it's awkward because it's given me like a comfort level of discussing sex and things like that other people don't have. So I almost have to censor myself in a way that's not natural because where I grew up, it was, just part of life. Even, at like 12 or so. I knew
headboard slamming a wall, that's the normal.
Yeah. You're telling jokes, you're talking about my house. That's on target.
For all the listeners out there, Courtney just linked us to a page with some pictures of herself, and she's in some, I think those are skulls on your underwear there. These are pretty cool. And then there's one at the bottom where she's completely nude, but she's got those incredibly, incredibly annoying stars, like cartoon stars, over the best parts of the photo. I've never understood that. And
could you put those stars like on top of your shoulder?
Yeah, like the stars should like be on your kneecaps and like your belly button.
Parts that no one cares about.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that in your belly button there?
Oh, it's a little cupcake with black crossbones behind it, and it's got a little smile on it. It's kind of cute.
Nice. All right, so I will link this. If you guys are listening to this on my page, the podcast, if you go back to the video, this is linked on my video.
Well, no one's going to call now that they know I fake it.
This can't hurt.
This said 6% of your calls gay men. I'm not sure how many gay men listen to our podcast. I'm pretty sure there's some closet ones out there because they always...
probably.
Hey, man, if you ever want an amazing fantasy, you should call me. I'm awesome.
You should probably give us a moan.
So many little kids are going to grab their parents' credit cards and send you so much money now.
I need to buy a cell phone.
Do you want to give us like a 10 or 20 second example of some of your work?
Sure. Give me something. Give me something like absolutely ridiculous to say, and I'll make it sound sexy. I'm good at that.
I'll be waiting for you after your dodgeball game, Billy.
I'll be waiting for you after your dodgeball game, Billy.
She has a gift.
I am truly the vocal arts.
One more.
Okay.
I'm tired of those damn noob tubes.
I was going to give her a noob tube-based quote as well. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Okay, I am so tired of those damn noob tubers.
I think we're going to get some business from Sandy Ravage here in a minute.
I'm using that.
Oh, that might be in the promo video.
Yes, that got to be in the promo video. This is the best podcast ever.
Fuck host migration. Look what we got.
I enjoyed host migration. It's too bad it's over.
All right. I want to do the Diablo thing before we sign out.
Oh, God.
All right.
recently I've been started getting back into Diablo 2, and I've been playing with my subscribers, and I've been trying to do a level 1 normal all the way through hell run without funding any of the characters. The turnout has been lackluster at best. Most people that show up don't have any prior experience in Diablo 2 at all, and the parties have been, dying off late normal, early nightmare. I'm going to attempt one more time to try this. I put a link in my video for the podcast thing here, but if you want to play Diablo 2 and you got a lot of time on your hands, I'm talking about a lot, like 4 or 5 hour stretches, 4 or 5 hour tense stretches, send me a message on YouTube. Anybody got anything else to say before we sign out?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. So on HuppetGaming.com, I did some brainstorming for podcast topics tonight, and I want to know what the other girls you work with look like. You're obviously in good shape, but is that what the other girls are like?
There's a lot of girls on the same website who post pictures. There's really no way to know if any of them are true, but there's definitely quite. Well, no, because I work from home. I don't know any of these chicks.
See, I thought you used to work.
There was let me put it this way. There was one girl who had to have a specialty-made chair because she was too big for our giant office-sized leather chairs. In layman's terms, I wouldn't do most of them.
No, so what do you know? Did somebody ask what you normally wear when you're working?
I work outside in my garage, actually, so I don't wake anyone up inside. Tank top and underwear, usually as par for the course. That's about it.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Is your underwear usually the ones with the skulls, like right here?
I actually have 2 pairs of those underwear, one that's a thong and one that are cute little boy shorts. Yeah, I like cute underwear. I try and keep it cute.
I also noticed on this picture you got a Chinese dragon tattoo.
That is not a Chinese dragon. That is a blue-ringed octopus.
All right, I can see it now. It looked like a Chinese dragon from the picture.
No, it's an octopus. It's a pretty badass octopus.
So there's a theme I'm looking through the forum topic here, and a lot of guys want to know if your sex life is pretty much just a normal engaged type girl, or is there anything outstanding or subpar happening?
I have pretty awesome sex. I mean, I don't go into some of the really creepy, weird stuff that some of my callers like, but I like to keep it interesting.
Good deal.
So do you ever bring another girl into the mix?
I have in the past, yeah. Usually if I'm going to have a girl, I like to keep her to myself, but I've shared before.
Me too.
All right. So
I also noticed this on your thing we failed to mention. Any call over 15 minutes gets a free nude print.
There you
That
go.
is true. Anyone who stays on the phone over 15 minutes and leaves me awesome feedback gets a free, completely nude picture of me.
there you have it.
Well,
Yeah,
guys, that's been Painkiller already.
Yeah, and I will be on for like the next 6 hours tonight, so anyone who wants to call me, I will be here.
Do we want to get the rate out, or you want to discover that?
It's $1.05 per minute.
Good deal.
It's pretty affordable.
Most of our callers are underage. They only need like 2 minutes.
All right. I think that's a wrap.
Most of them will probably call you just to see if you're the actual person linked to the podcast. I bet you money you'll get that tonight.
I look forward to it.
All right, it's been Painkiller already, episode 13.
Best ever.
Best ever from your man Kyle. Keep in mind, we are still looking for a guest for week 14. I personally would like to see anybody that has had service in field in Vietnam. I would say World War II, but they'd be in their 80s, 85s, and probably hard to hear. So but even the Korean War, we could probably go to the Korean War as well, but even that would be pushing 70s. So
Iraq? No?
I don't want Iraq, dude. I consider Iraq is a major confrontation, but it isn't like a confrontation where the people had to be grit and dirty. They're basically doing a job in Iraq. They're not really fighting a war. When I picture war, I picture sitting next to dead bodies for days at a time because you can't get up because of suppressive fire. When I think of war, I think a man that's shit himself 3 times because he can't move.
All right. So we're looking for Vietnam or Korea.
Yeah, the Vietnam or Korean War. We might take that like Desert Storm.
Right.
Send me an email, whatever. If you think you'd be an interesting guest for Painkiller already, let us know.
Very good. That's a wrap, guys. Thanks.